Thomas. This is a story about Thomas the Tank Engine. Thomas worked hard shunting coaches for the big engines, but what he wanted more was his very own branch line. Thomas the Tank Engine had 6 small wheels, a short stumpy funnel, a short stumpy boiler, and a short stumpy dome. He was a fussy little engine, always pulling coaches about, ready. He pulled them to the station, ready for the big engines to take out on journeys. And when trains come in, he pulls the empty coaches away so that the big engines can go and rest. Thomas really wanted his very own branch line. That's why he would be a really useful engine. Thomas was a cheeky little engine. He thought no engine worked as hard as he did. He liked playing tricks on the others. One day, Gordon, in return from pulling the big express, he was very tired and had just gone to sleep when Thomas came up behind him. "Wake up, lazy bones," whistled Thomas. "Do some hard work for a change. You can't..." And he ran off laughing. Gordon got a terrible shock. He decided to pay Thomas back. The next morning, Thomas wouldn't wake up. His driving foreman couldn't make him start. It was nearly time for Gordon's express to leave. Gordon was waiting, but Thomas hadn't got his coaches ready. At last, Thomas started. Oh dear, he yawned. "Whoop, whoop, whoop." "Hurry up, you," said Gordon crossly. "Beep, beep, beep." "Hurry up yourself," replied Thomas cheekily. Thomas usually pushed behind Gordon's train to help them start, but he was always uncoupled first. So when the train was running nicely, Thomas could stop and go back. That morning, Gordon saw the perfect chance to pay Thomas back for giving him a fright. He started so quickly that the guards forgot to uncouple Thomas. Gordon moved slowly out of the station, and pulling the train and Thomas with him. Then he started to go faster and faster, much too fast for Thomas. "Beep, beep! Stop! Stop!" he whistled. "Hurry, hurry, hurry, hurry!" laughed Gordon. "You can't get away! You can't get away!" laughed the coaches. Poor Thomas was going faster than he had ever gone before. "I shall never be the same again," he thought sadly. "My wheels will be quite worn out." At last, they stopped at a station. Thomas was uncoupled and was given a long, long drink. "Well, little Thomas," chuckled Gordon, "now you know what hard work means, don't you?" Poor Thomas was too breathless to answer. The next day, Thomas was working in the yard. On the siding by themselves were some strange-looking trucks. "That's the breakdown train," said his driver. "When there's an accident, workmen use it to help clear and mend the line." Just then, James came whistling through the yard, crying, "Help! Help!" His brakes were on fire, and the trucks were pushing him faster and faster. James disappeared into the distance. Soon, a bell rang in the signal box, and a man came running. "James is off the line! We need the breakdown train quickly!" he shouted. Thomas was coupled on into the breakdown train, and off they went. And off he went as fast as he could. Bother those trucks and their tricks, he said. I hope James isn't hurt. They found James and the trucks at a bend in the line. James was in a field with a cow looking at him. The brake van and the last few trucks were still on the rails, but the front ones were in a heap behind James. James's driver and fireman were checking to see if he was hurt. Don't worry, James, his driver said. It wasn't your fault. It was those troublesome trucks. Thomas pushed the breakdown train alongside James. Then he pulled the trucks that were still on the line out of the way. Oh dear, they groaned. Serves you right, puffed Thomas crossly. As soon as the other trucks were back on the line, Thomas pulled them away. He worked hard all afternoon. Using 2 cranes, the men put James carefully back onto the rails. He tried to move, but he couldn't, so Thomas helped him back to the shed. Sir Topham Hatt was waiting for them there. Well, Thomas, he said kindly, I've heard all about it, and I think you are a real useful engine. I'm so pleased that he's with you. I'm going to give you your own branch line. Oh, thank you, sir, said Thomas. Now Thomas is contained as being he has a branch line to him all to himself. He puffs proudly backwards and forwards from morning till night with his coaches Annie and Clarabelle. Edward and Henry stopped quite often at the junction and talked to him. Gordon is always in a hurry and doesn't time to stop, but he never forgets to say boop boop boop, and Thomas always whistles beep 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 in return.